Everyone says publishing books on Amazon is incredibly easy because you can just use AI and have everything ready in minutes. That's only true if you want to offer a low-quality, mediocre product. But if your goal is to start a profitable long-term business that offers top-quality products, you know that typing in a couple of prompts isn't enough to make it happen. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the mistakes most publishers make when using AI to create their books. More importantly, I'll show you exactly how I use it to sell high-quality products and earn thousands of dollars every month on KDP. I don't want to waste your time with a long intro, but make sure to watch the whole thing because I'm sharing a ton of free resources throughout the video. Let's get started. The first mistake I want to talk about is the one that affects your book sales the most because it is the very first thing people see. What everyone does when they want to create a new book and use AI to help with the brainstorming process is open ChatGPT or their favorite chatbot and ask it to find a title and a subtitle for their book. The big problem with using AI this way when choosing a title is that its results are based entirely on what is already online, and as a result, it will never be truly original. Also, in recent years, the Amazon algorithm has changed from the A9 model to the A10 model. This new algorithm is much smarter than the previous one and allows us to include fewer keywords in our title compared to before. Basically, by analyzing all the metadata, it will also rank you for all those keywords that you don't include but that are related to the topic or the type of book you're publishing. This change, which not everyone knows about, allows us to be much more original and find titles that are more catchy than the ones where people used to put 10 keywords one after the other. By the way, most people who still do this today don't know that according to KDP guidelines, everything you put in the title must be shown on the cover. And this is why sometimes their book gets blocked for no apparent reason. Now I will explain exactly how I choose my titles and subtitles. Let's start with the title. I consider the title to be the emotional part, the part that needs to create curiosity and grab attention. Don't use boring titles that simply say what is inside your book, but try to use words that evoke emotions. Use contrast so that the reader wonders why two words representing two contrasting and paradoxical concepts are used in the same title. The title must create a curiosity gap for the reader. It must clearly indicate the direction, but it shouldn't reveal the exact benefit you will get. It should make you want to know more. Let me give you an example. Do less, achieve more. This is an extremely simple title, but I didn't use any keywords in it. I focused entirely on expressing the contrast between doing less and getting greater results. This title is catchy, it creates curiosity, and it makes you want to know more because everyone wants to achieve their result. This is where the subtitle comes into play, which serves to explain in more depth what problem your book solves and what the benefits are. For the subtitle, I almost always use the transformation statement model. I'll explain it simply. We start from the problem we solve, which is the starting point, and we arrive at the final result, the benefit. After that, we indicate the time or effort required to achieve this transformation. And finally, we want to specify who the solution is for, the person I call the buyer persona, our ideal customer. Let me give you an example to make it clear. Go from constant overwhelm to peaceful productivity with a proven 30 minutes a day system for busy artists, freelancers, and entrepreneurial minds. Of course, you aren't forced to include everything I'm telling you, but you can keep only the elements that seem best for explaining the solution you offer. If you don't have much creativity, AI is a tool you can absolutely use, but you have to do it the right way. I created a template for a very detailed prompt to use when getting help from AI to brainstorm your titles and subtitles following the guidelines I just explained. You just need to copy the prompt and change the parameters in the brackets one by one. What you receive from the AI will be a list of titles and subtitles that you should absolutely not use exactly as they are given to you, but you must use them as a starting point. Just try to extract the best parts from the response and above all, use it as inspiration to find the perfect title. Never replace your own creativity and humanity with AI, but only try to enhance your skills through technology. You can find this prompt and all the ones I will show you in this video for free on my website, elevatepublishers.com. which you can find in the first link in the description or in the pinned comment. The second mistake is the most serious one in my opinion, because it makes your book a low quality product. What I'm talking about is the actual writing of the book. By now in 2026, the fact that many people write using AI is widely accepted, and it's not something I completely condone. The important thing is being able to offer the customer the best possible solution to their problem. However, what most self-publishers do is use AI as if it were a ghostwriter that you hire to write the different parts of your book, and you simply get the ready-to-publish text. This is deeply wrong for one simple reason. If someone buys a book about a topic, it means they are already interested in it. If your book is written entirely by AI, most of the information you provide will be basic and won't add any value for your customer. Consider that it's very likely that the same person, before looking for a book on the subject, has already searched for more information, most likely using the same AI you used to write the book. And an even bigger mistake is deciding to create a book just because you think a keyword is profitable, without having any knowledge or experience regarding what you're explaining. It will be totally impossible for you to distinguish interesting information from the boring stuff because everything will seem new to you. Always choose topics that you know and use AI not to write your books but to properly process your ideas. Now I'll explain my personal method for writing high content books. I start first with the structure, and I use AI to brainstorm ideas to include in my book. I use AI first of all to help me understand what some interesting chapters to include in my book might be, based on common problems and what is generally essential for my buyer persona. With the second prompt, we instead map out the real structure of the book. We paste all the ideas from the first prompt into the second one, but we also add all the ideas we have ourselves, based on our own lives and our experience in solving that specific problem. This second prompt will give you the chapter structure of the book with the various ideas from the first prompt inside each one. The third step in writing the book is the one I think is most interesting and different from how everyone else does it. Instead of writing the various parts of my book, I record an audio of myself speaking. I know it might seem strange to you, but when we write a non-fiction book where we explain something, our goal is exactly the same as if we were explaining those concepts to our best friend. And I behave exactly that way. I take my phone and record all the different parts of my book just as if I were talking to a friend, giving examples, trying to be clear, and to explain things simply. This way, the writing process feels much less heavy. After that, I use AI to transcribe all my audio files. I usually use a tool called TurboScribe. The last step I take is to use the third prompt in the series, which takes everything I said out loud and reformulates it correctly into book format. Besides these other three prompts, on the page dedicated to AI writing prompts, you will find others that I won't go into detail about right now, but that might be useful if you need to translate your books or if you want help formatting the book with bullet points or highlighting key concepts. Just like with the prompt for titles and subtitles, you can find everything for free on my website, elevatepublishers.com. The third mistake is the one that makes me angrier than anything else, because even though it's simple, it is underestimated by most self-publishers. A while ago, the problem was that people were using Canva images in their books, but now the problem has evolved because anyone can generate an image using AI. From a certain perspective, this is a real revolution, and you might think that now we can all create professional coloring books with AI or fill our books with wonderful images. The truth is, however, that I personally would never take that risk. Let me explain. AI is simply a new technology that hasn't been regulated yet. For this reason, I prefer to use images taken directly from a generation tool as little as possible. I want to avoid copyright issues or any other kind of problem at all costs, even though using AI images isn't prohibited by the guidelines. But this is mainly my own cautious approach. For most people, the problem is different. AI is great at creating images, but the truth is that in most cases you can tell that the image wasn't created by an illustrator. In fact, very often, even when using the same basic prompt, Advanced tools like Nano Banana start doing whatever they want, making the work complicated because the style of the images keeps changing as you generate new ones. I'm not good at drawing and I'm not an illustrator, but for over 3 years now, I've been using a very simple technique for all my illustrations. All you need is a tablet with a pen. I know it can be a significant investment for many, but these days many iPads from a few generations ago only cost a few $100s, and as for the pen, it doesn't need to be an original Apple one. Any $20 pen from Amazon works just fine. Simply put, what I do is use a very famous app called Procreate, which is used to create professional illustrations. I generate any image on Nano Banana and then I trace it inside Procreate using my pen. Believe me when I tell you it's the easiest thing in the world, and it allows you to have all your drawings in the exact same style with the same pen stroke, and above all, they look more human. You can easily add or remove details you don't like from the original image and get high quality illustrations in just a few minutes. If you don't feel like making this investment, or you absolutely don't want to go through the trouble of drawing each illustration manually, then I suggest you either completely avoid creating low quality coloring books or hire an expert to do it for you. The last mistake regarding the use of AI is the perfect summary of everything I've talked about so far. Most publishers who have been using AI to create their books since we've had this huge opportunity are doing it in the worst possible way. Their strategy is to create good books in the shortest time possible and publish them consistently in the hope that at least some of them make a decent profit. The reality is that this way of doing self-publishing has filled the market with junk. Books that are okay, but in terms of content are very mediocre, generic, and don't feel human. What few people have realized instead is that we now have the chance to create magnificent books with much less effort, and we can do it by using AI to enhance our own abilities and knowledge. My strategy is the complete opposite. I don't base all my books just on choosing the right keywords, but on what value I can offer to people. This way, I can put everything I know into them, my experience and my unique way of solving a specific problem, while also understanding the problems and difficulties others face, so I can offer the perfect solution for everyone. The core concept of my strategy is choosing quality over quantity, even when using AI tools, by leveraging them to raise the level of my products even higher. If you want to get more specific about my self-publishing strategy, I've published a completely free course in my free school community where I explain all the core principles of my method. It's called Self-Publishing Foundations, and right now it consists of 4 lessons for a total of over an hour of free training. Over time, I want to expand this course by adding more lessons based on the needs of the community members. If you want to access it, you can always go through my website, elevatepublishers.com, where you'll find the direct link to the community. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching until the end, and I'll see you soon with new content. Bye.